Thanks to Mrs. Plum, who allowed us to be in the basement of her hotel, where we found warmth and got some food. We felt kind of safe. They opened a large loft. We were able to remain in this ghetto-like setting called das Judenhaus from November 38 until January of 1942. Many times during these years, the city government was asked to send us away to concentration camps or slave labor camps, and they never complied. I remember very well when this Nazi came to take us to a concentration camp, and he demanded from my father 50 mark for each of the Jewish people still remaining there. All the other people were able to leave with permission by the Nazis in 1939. By that time, there were only 5 Jewish people remaining in this Judenhaus. My father suggested that they should go down to City Hall and get the money because all the money was taken from us in previous times. The city paid 250 mark for the last 5 Jewish people to be taken to their death. We were then transported by train to a larger town where from all the smaller communities the Jewish people were assembled. A few days later, we were loaded on a cattle car and were shipped to Riga, Latvia. This was one of the coldest winters in history. I don't remember how many people were in this cattle car. I do remember that the older people passed away after a few days. There were no sanitary conditions. We were told that we could take all the food that we had accumulated with us, but we didn't realize that it was close to 6 days of a transport and we ran out of food and water. When we arrived there on that bitter cold day, the Nazis with their dogs, they chased us out so fast from these cattle cars and our bones were stiff. We could hardly walk. In the lineup, a Nazi asked my father about his occupation. My father explained that he was a butcher and a sausage maker. The Nazi said, "Oh, we can use you." The very next day, my father was called to go to work in a slaughterhouse. He was told to salt hides to prepare for leather. This was done with sea salt. He developed cuts on his fingers. Eventually, it developed into blood poison. The blood poison developed into lockjaw. My father became like a wild man. The pain was so severe. I remember the smell from his hands. He bathed his hands, and it was no good. He would scream. If we didn't give him water to bathe it, it was no good. His eyes started to bulge, and he was not able to go to work. Shortly thereafter, the Nazis came and took him away. They dragged him down the stairs. Looking out of the window on this snowy day, we saw a large sled where someone was spread out and covered with a sheet. I can only assume that this was my father, that he had lost his life already by then.